Welcome to the channel. I am Debbie, and this is the Viking Cemetery. Walk with me as we explore the graves of this abandoned cemetery in Fort Pierce, Florida. Jens Helseth and his wife were key figures in the establishment of the Viking Cemetery in Fort Pierce, Florida in 1905. Jens Helseth was a Danish immigrant who, along with his wife, settled in the area as part of a small Scandinavian community that had formed in the region during the early 20th century. This community, often referred to as Viking due to the Scandinavian heritage of its settlers, sought to establish a burial ground that would serve the needs of their tight-knit group. The cemetery was created on land donated by the Helseths, reflecting their commitment to providing a resting place for their community members. The choice of location was influenced by the proximity to the homes of the settlers and the area's relative isolation, which ensured that the cemetery would remain undisturbed. The Helseths and their fellow settlers likely intended the cemetery to be a lasting testament to their heritage and a place of remembrance for future generations. However, over time, as the original settlers passed away and the community dispersed, the cemetery fell into disuse and eventually became abandoned. Despite this, the Viking Cemetery remains a significant historical site representing the legacy of the early Scandinavian settlers in Fort Pierce, Florida. The Viking Cemetery is modest with only a few visible headstones and grave markers. Some of the markers are simple and unadorned, reflecting the humble lives of those buried there. Over time, the cemetery has become overgrown, and many of the headstones are weathered, making it difficult to read the inscriptions. Despite its small size and the fact that it is not well known, the cemetery holds a certain historical significance as it represents the early settlement of the Fort Pierce area. The cemetery does not have a well-documented ownership or maintenance arrangement, which is why the site has fallen into neglect. Typically, small historic cemeteries like this one might be owned by private individuals, families, or could be a part of a larger property. In some cases, ownership might have been lost or become unclear over time, especially if the land has changed hands multiple times without specific attention to the cemetery. I photographed every grave in this cemetery, probably 25 total headstones in all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.